Don't give up now. Don't give up. No, don't give up now. Don't give up now. Don't give up right now. Hold on. You will not lose. You can fly if you just decide. Never let nobody get the best of you. Try to tell you what you can and cannot do. Your momentum will set you out the two. If you really just believe, I tell you, you can fly. If you make up your mind, don't give up. 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 Don't give up now. You have way too much to lose. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up right now. Hold on. Good evening and welcome. Oh, I got to turn on Tiki. Got to get Tiki going. Good evening and welcome. Always a pleasure to have you here. I'm just shooting out a message in school's Zoom. You can also post it, you guys, or no, you can post it in our school, You Ready, Let's Grow, that we are live. I just posted in School of Mentors.
Okay.
We are live. And we're here. We're ready to do this thing. Let people know that we're here, we're functioning. Awesome. So, welcome to Vision Builders. You Ready, Let's Grow. If you don't, those of you who don't know, if you're new, Vision Builders is a coaching and mentoring platform that breathes life into dreams and helps you realize your vision. I'm your host, W.D. Brown, and we are excited. We've been doing a series for a little while, and we're going to continue with it. So if you're returning, welcome and thank you for joining. While you're here, please take a moment, invite somebody, somebody you feel could benefit from this platform. Also, follow us on YouTube, like and share, subscribe. Please hit the notification button so that you know when we're on. Now, few simple rules. We ask everyone to be courteous and respectful. This is a safe place for people to be vulnerable, share their thoughts without judgment. This is a no judgment, no criticism. If you wish to speak, please turn on your camera if you can. Put your hand up. We ask you to turn on your camera because on YouTube, if your camera's not up, people see a black box and hear you talking. So we prefer that you can, okay? Use the chat respectfully and take some with you tonight. Don't just attend. Ask yourself, what's the one thing that I can apply to my life and put to work right now? It's a beautiful thing. But please hit the button, like, share, subscribe. We're not charging. This is what we do. We're building up our watch hours on YouTube, which is a beautiful thing. We're getting good response. People are already starting to edit and post our videos. So I just want to start the night by humbly saying I'm grateful and thankful for all of you who are here so far. So I see Omar's in the room. I see Lindsay's in the room. Jonah just coming in the room. Let me let her in. Jonah's in the room. AT, it looks like that is. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I got to give you a clap and your horns to let you know that you are loved and appreciated. And glad to have you here. This has been exciting. This is only going to be our 5th actual Zoom Live YouTube, and it's been every week. It's been just as explosive as the week before and more. In the comments that I've been getting inside of even just in School of Mentors, but people have been beginning to reach out to me from like around from different places. There's different people really been starting to say, hey, I love this. I love what's going on here. And tell me how to be involved. And so I'm like, well, just join us. You know, it's a family show, right? But it's a challenging show for people who want to be challenged. So let me know where you at, where you are. I look like I know everybody. I don't know. Was that ATM? It looks like. I don't know who you are. You can come on up and say it or put in the chat. I see Ola just came in the room. What's going on? Welcome. And I think Esther just popped in. Good to see you. It's good to have you in the room. It's good to have you in the room and to continue this conversation. So I've been, just a little update. I've been preparing. I've been preparing now because we're submitting. Hi, Eileen. Good to see you and welcome to the room. I just saw my boy Adam come in the room. What's going on, buddy? So we've been preparing now and for TED Talk submissions, and we got a couple. We had one, and we were working on that, and then some others came in. So I had to sit down today and just do a whole questionnaire of answers of what my conversation would be about, what my talk would be about. It's really interesting because when I first mentioned it in the room, Kai called up and he had some very powerful suggestions. Like he felt I should talk about, overcoming, giving your whole life to other people and then losing yourself in the process. And I was like, and he said, instead of talking about, I guess he thought about success or stuff like that. He said he felt that touched him. And I thought about it. I said, okay, that's a good talk. But my main thing is to help people get from here to there. So I don't want to do a TED Talk about, oh, my life was so bad and but now I'm better. So I said, well, how do I take what he's saying? Because it made sense to me, but still speak it from the terms of going from where you are to where you are supposed to be or where you want to become. And so sitting down with it, the title I got was The Self-Worth Economy. And the power in the self-worth economy, and what I'm going to talk about, which is very similar to what we're doing right now, is, how much we're willing to spend of our self-worth to gain quote unquote acceptance or success or whatever the case may be. And that to me became a full balance of everything I'm about. PB in the house. What's going on, man? Good to have you in here. So literally it became about how do we get better without sacrificing ourselves? How do we become everything that we're supposed to be without throwing away who we are? So I want to, anyway, give you a chance to come in and say, hey, good evening, talk a little bit. Tell me where you are, who you is, where you at, and just kind of just have a little conversation just before we get started in the notes. Now, and I got to locate those. Now, you may need to text them to me again, so I have to go look, and I forgot to open them up before I got started. Wait a minute, if I open my preview, it might be in there already I don't know if they have previous, open recent. No, I don't see it. So yeah, you're gonna have to send it to me again. Just text it to me.
Okay, I'll send it to you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Queen. So who wants to just come in and just tell me a little bit about where you at, what you is, where you are, and what you're doing. But I'm saying what you is and talking like I don't know how to speak. Trying to keep it something that I don't need to be keeping it anymore. Talk to me. Well, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ask PB if you can, Paul. Come on up for a minute and just kick it with me a little bit, because you was one of the first people I went to when I first started doing my TikTok lives and trying to pull that together, and you gave us tips and advice on what to do, how to get the ball rolling. And so I like to always acknowledge and appreciate it. So if you can, just come in for a second and invite them up if you can. And just want to just kick it with you a little bit and just say what's up to my boy and talk about the process. And Abner, it's good to see you, man. And haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, salutations to the stage and everyone there.
What's up, PB? You muted again. You said salutations and muted. Is that all you contributing?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah.
There
I
you
was
go.
trying to slide. Yeah, slide the lever over. But yeah. Thank y'all for having me. I'm glad to be here tonight. Yeah, I was in Baltimore last week. Tonight I'm in Virginia Beach. Yeah.
Nice.
So and then next week, I don't know where I'll be. Next week, we'll see.
So you out there working?
For now, but the work is drying up. Pretty much once we hit Labor Day, it's going to pretty much dry up overnight. Now, with the way streaming is working with a lot of our schools and colleges and NIL, so the schools are saying, "Oh, we got to pay the athletes," and then paying the athletes, they're cutting us out. So, yeah, so it's kind of sad.
Well,
But it's been a good run.
He said it's been a good run. Did you stash some? Did you stash some? Put some away?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the business working for myself up off from the ground. Yeah, it hasn't been able to launch as smoothly as I needed to. So, unfortunately.
Well, we pray the next time around you get to do that. in the lucrative times, I was trying to put some away for them lean times.
So I couldn't hear what you said when dropped out.
Okay, I said in the lucrative times, I try to put away for the lean times. So if there's ever lean times, I try to put stack a little bit away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you for popping up, man, PB. So PB, I call him PB. He's Paul Briggs. When we was trying to go live, he was giving us the streaming platforms we should consider. He was telling us the ways to approach it, and it was very helpful. And showed me how to do the lives, and some of the platforms we weren't ready to use yet and spend that kind of money because we weren't doing anything yet. But now we got to the point that, okay, it does come down to sometimes not what you think you have to spend, but what is necessary to get to where you want to go. It becomes an investment in yourself. And so, I mean, everything I try to do it the free way or the cheap way first. And I can just tell you from experience, don't spend crazy, but it comes back to having to spend money. Like I bought a little mixer, a little TikTok mixer sound generator mixer, like $100, and it just kept locking up and freezing, and the sounds would mess up. So I had to go back and do what my boy AJ told me at the beginning and buy the Rode and spend $450. So
love the road.
Right. So that's $50. I mean, that's $100 I could have applied toward this. Now I got a little box sitting around and I got to get to somebody because I ain't going to use it anymore. But you live and you learn. So, anyway.
And I commend you guys on the way that you guys have come so far in such a short period of time. It's like each production, like every time I come on, I'm seeing more graphics, more audio effects, the balance, the sound level balance. It's become so much more better production. So kudos to everything out there with you and your team. I know Miss Nelly, she is the master, the maestro when it comes to OBS and everything and slapping all the screens together. I'm like, salute, salute, salute. Yeah, so yeah, but as you guys kept adding more and more, and growing, I loved it. I loved it. So it's been beautiful.
Thank you, Paul. We appreciate that from you, man. We do. And let me tell you what's powerful, because when Nelly started, Nelly didn't know any tech. People got to understand that. she was still writing notes on paper. She didn't even know how to do anything with a phone but answer a call and shoot a text. And for her to learn all this graphics and how to use the software and to do the stuff that she learned, like really impressed. And I'm glad I got her and she married me. So I don't know if you know Paul, but we got married in December.
Oh, congratulations. I think I saw a picture or something
Yeah.
like while I was ripping and running around. I'm like, oh, praise the Lord. So
Yeah. So yeah. She is. We are official now. I'm officially a Mister.
officially
And I'm
out.
officially a Mrs. Thank you for.
Devon just came in the room. It was good to see that. Well, let's get to our notes so we can have our conversation. And thank you, PP, for popping up. We appreciate you, brother. All right. So you guys ready? Let me know in the chat if you're ready for us to go over our notes for the night to begin our conversation. Are you ready? Let us know. Let us know. Give us something in the chat. Give us a thumbs up the screen, or give us something. Let us know that you're here and you're ready to go to the next level. I had the good. I got to see the thumbs going up. All right. I had the wonderful opportunity today to speak to my sister earlier, on the phone. She was shocked to hear my voice on the phone because she called to speak to the Queen. And she's been like taking our videos and, editing them, and not editing them, but pulling snippets out for us on her own free will. And man, what she's done for the few snippets that she sent us has just been absolutely beautiful. Just a total blessing to have somebody come in and just want to be a part of what you're doing and help. I love the way we're growing. I love the way, the levels that we're growing to. And this is just the beginning. We plan to take over the world, and it's going to happen. So we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. So, yes, sis, well, you deserve that honor. You've been such a help to us already, and it's just when people come in and believe in what you're doing and believe in your dream, that's a blessing, and you need to acknowledge those people. Those people are a part of your business and helping you do what you do, whether they're paid or unpaid. Oh, my name should have been changed under there. My name is W.D. Brown. Just change that. You're going to do it, or you want me to do it? It look like you look at your.
Yeah, I'll change it.
Thank you, Queen. So let's get it going. So this subject and the next one I really want to get on, because it's going to be part of the TED Talk, is the self-worth economy. But this self-worth thing is big, and I didn't realize when I started it how big it was and how many people would be affected by it. So I really want to talk right now because I talk to wealthy people that are going through the same thing, and you think that because they got money and they have a level of success, that this is not a problem they have. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, that's the furthest thing from the truth. Sometimes they have financial means, but they're still looking for something. They're still trying to define who they are. They're trying to be recognized for who they are in their own mind. And you watch them, and it's a sad truth, I guess, to deal with. I said this before and I'll say it again. When you have nothing, you can convince yourself that your problem is you don't have anything. And once you have this and you have that and you have this and you make this much money, life is going to be better. And then when you get that and you're still not happy, you don't have a fib to tell yourself. You can't tell yourself, well, if I could be broke again, I would be fine. So, this is when people then start to introduce substances and all kind of other things to try to compensate for the fact that, and I tell people all the time, I don't think money changes people. I think money gives a license to who you are. Money gives you the opportunity to express what's really inside. So that's mean arrogant, crazy, broken, whatever it is, it gives license to that. And I've watched people walk through this journey of trying to be something. And again, as I'm saying, share if you're on now, share with somebody that you think could benefit from this. Post it in your community, post it in the community, share it, invite people in the room. I think this is the lowest room so far, but I know it's still early and people around the world got different time schedules, but here we are. Let's go. So we're on session 3 now, right? This is number 3. And I want to talk about I'm trying, Precious. I know my queen is always telling me stop sticking my hand in my face when I'm talking. The hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. And this is a powerful point. I want to talk about how the hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. Now, I can give you one point off the top of my head before I like start to go into the actual notes. It's something God revealed to me about apologizing for being blessed. And hey, baby girl, I see my baby girl just came in the room. See, her name is brown like me because that's my little girl. So what I would find myself doing, and tell me if you can relate to this, put a 1 in the chat. This is what I found myself doing. When I would begin to increase or do something better, say you get another car, or you get a better job, and people say, well, I guess your life must be great. And then you say things like, well, no, I mean, I'm struggling just like everybody else. Oh, no, I'm not doing that good. It ain't all like what it seems. And you immediately start apologizing to people for your blessing. You start immediately almost talking yourself down from, anybody relate to that? You know what I'm talking about? Send me a thumb up or something, show me something if you know what I'm talking about. You immediately start almost like belittling your greatness because you don't want to feel greater than them or make them uncomfortable. How sad is that we feel like we have to constantly like monitor how far we go or how good we look for somebody else. So this is what this whole thing about, the self-worth thing has been about. So let's go through this. The hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. Sometimes we blame other people for devaluating us, but we usually participate in it. How do we do that? You over-explain what I just talked about. You have to tell people why, or when somebody points out something, you have to explain why it's that way instead of just taking a position of where you're going. You have to settle into what they said you are. And now you have to explain why you are what they said you are. Now, this is important because even if somebody points out something honestly that you need to change or could work in, when you start explaining why you're there, instead of just making the motion to move to the other place, like we was talking about somebody today, me and Ola and me and Omar talking about the same person. We won't bring their name up. And right away they start saying, yeah, well, maybe it's because it's this, and maybe because it's this, maybe because he woke up late and he didn't eat his food, and you start doing that thing. You do that to yourself too. You start to justify all the things that you're not happy with about yourself by coming up with reasons and logics and finessing it. But no change and no growth comes from that. Only thing comes from that is a reason to stay in the pit. So you participate in your own devaluation by continually expressing and explaining and giving license or reason for yourself to be there instead of using it as an opportunity to break the chains and come out the other side. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Let me see something up in the screen. Let me know you understand what I'm talking about. Show me some love. This is a real serious thing, and we got to be careful about this. Very careful about this. Okay? If you find yourself always over-explaining why you are where you are, something needs to change, and it needs to start in you. I don't need to explain anything to you. If I agree with you, I will go to work on it. If I don't agree with you, I'll ignore you. But I'm not going to sit there and over-explain or over-justify why I am where I am. Okay? I won't give another example because it could go on and on, because especially when it comes to women and no good men, they always come to you and tell you how no good he is. And then when you start saying, so why are you there? No, because he's good. And, if you turn your head to the left and wink, you can see so much goodness. And I'm like, okay, you just stupid. Anybody got no time for you. Nobody got no time for you. You just wasting people's time. So anyway, that's what I want to say about that. Okay. Another thing, something I was guilty of, you overgive. You overgive. You give and give and give and give and give, hoping that, people will love you, and they really love what you're giving them. They don't love you. And the proof of this is don't give, or decide not to give them anymore. And they show you your value. And they show you your situation. I had a situation with a young man, like he had his daughter's rights. Like he couldn't see his daughter. He was going back and forth to court. When he finally got, the judge gave him the right to see his daughter. Every time he saw his daughter, he would say, we're going to go to Disneyland this week. Or this week we're going to go over here. Or this week I'm going to take her to this. Or this week I'm going to take her to the Build-A-Bear. And this week I'm going to take her. And I was talking to him one day and I said, I want to say something to you. You need to stop doing this. He said, what do you mean? I said, you're teaching her that every time she sees you, you're giving her something, or there's something that for her to be gained. So the relationship is not going to be based on you and her having a relationship. The relationship is now going to be based on she seeing you and expecting something. And what if something comes up one day when you can't take her somewhere? Why can't you sit home and watch Netflix and make popcorn in the living room? Why does there always have to be this extravagant thing you do every time you see her? You're creating a monster that you're going to have to live with. Stop doing that. Take her out sometime, but sometime just let her sit home and watch TV with you. And, he came back to me later and said, man, you saved my life, because my first time of not taking her out, she looked at me like, what do you mean we're not going out? And so I had to explain to her. I said, because you were setting the tone. The same thing with guys who's, we back in the day, we called them simps, but guys who, they date girls, and I see it now all the time. And them taking them out, and they want bags, and they want my nails done, and get my hair did. Like, well, you don't know how to wash it and do your own hair, and go get your own hair done, right? But now you create this situation, and I met somebody not too long ago like this, and always taking women out and doing all this, and I just feel like they just use me, and then I'm like, well, you created the atmosphere. You're overgiving because you feel like you don't have anything else to give but what you have financially. So that's what you keep doing. And that's why they treat you like that. And they should. So, overgiving is a way to devalue yourself, and participate in it. The other thing, we tolerate disrespect. We tolerate disrespect. Well, I'm just, I'm non-confrontational. I just want, okay, now there's two ways to tolerate disrespect. And I want you to catch this, and I want you to catch this well. Nah, if somebody try to disrespect me, I put them in their place. I tell them right away, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. That's still tolerating it. If every time somebody comes at me, I gotta come at them with this kind of thing, and it's gotta be this fight and this push and pull and all of that, that's still tolerating disrespect. That's still saying, okay, so I'm going to fight with you. I'm going to argue with you. Some people like that. They like the fact that they could get you to the place where you're losing your cool and you're going all off the top of your head like that. So you're still tolerating it. What do you mean you're still tolerating? If somebody's being disrespectful, you sever yourself from them. You don't stay around them and try to, well, when they say something to me, I just cuss them out. You're still tolerating it. You're still allowing a situation in your life that's not healthy for you. And you're putting yourself in company that's beneath you. You're tolerating disrespect. You're devaluing your self-worth. Listen, there's a room in a place that wealthy people go that you can't even hang with them. I heard Magic Johnson say this one time in an interview, and I thought it was so powerful. He said, people come to me and they have these ideas, and when I don't want to participate, they're getting something. They come to me with this is $1 million idea, this is $2 million idea. And he said, and I have to say to them, guys, with all due respect, I'm here now. I'm doing $50 million deals, $100 million deals. And even though, I wish you all the best, your $1-2 million deal just don't ring my bell, don't rock my boat anymore. So what he's saying is, this is the level I function on now. I don't function on that level. Well, what else is he saying? What he's saying is, on the level of disrespect or the level of conversation or community you keep, it's a level of disrespect I won't tolerate. I was on the phone with somebody recently, and they were bringing up stuff in conversation that just made me feel very uncomfortable. And I said, I really don't like the way this I don't like it. Well, I'm just being me. I'm just keeping it real. I was like, yeah. And I said to my wife, I'm not going to be talking to that person. Why? Because the level of conversation is beneath me. I'm tolerating disrespect. So tolerating disrespect is not just somebody cussing you out or somebody speaking bad to you, but somebody continually putting you in a place that makes you feel uncomfortable. And when you even express it, they don't respect. Have you ever been around somebody say, I'm really comfortable with you cursing like that around me? Well, that's just who I am. You just have to accept who I am. Anybody bear witness with that? Let me see something in the chat. Let me see something on the screen. Let me know that you understand exactly what I'm talking about, right? That's tolerating disrespect. You're making me uncomfortable, and it doesn't matter to you that I'm uncomfortable because I'm just me. Well, you have a right to be you, but I have a right to not to allow you access to me if this is who you choose to be. So another way, for those who just came in, we're dealing with the hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. There's some hard truths about it. So tolerating, I can go on with tolerating disrespect because there's so many ways that people disrespect us, and it's not always nasty, and it's not mean, and it's not cold. Another way is every time people see you, they think they're supposed to ask you for something. Well, you got it, and they figure that you owe them that, and entitlement is another form of disrespect. Don't tolerate people's disrespect. Well, it's my family. I don't care who they are. You can put distance between you and people who disrespect you. What I did was I sent a letter to the people in my family. They said, this is the way I want to be treated. And if you can't treat me like this, you can't be in my life. Some of it was received well, some of it was received with anger. Either way, I cut the people off. Still love you, but I'm gonna cut you off. You can't be in my regular life because you don't flow in respect toward me. And I'm not going to tolerate it for the need of your company, for the need of your love, for the need of your friendship, for the need of your anything. I'm not going to tolerate that. So I went strong on that one, but that's a powerful one. If that helped you out, give me some kind of sign. Let me know that this is good stuff. This is good food. Another way we devalue or participate in our own devaluation, we shrink to make other people comfortable. Now, in the community, there was a person who I won't name who, before I came to the room, he was that dude. I didn't know. All of a sudden I came to the room and I was that dude. And it caused a rift to him. To me, I'm not aware. So when I started talking, he would try to cut me off or say things that were out of line and disrespectful. And I checked him. I checked him strong. And I said to him, not in yelling, scream, I said, you're condescending and you're disrespectful and you're not gonna talk to me like that. So I really think you need to check yourself. Well, I just am, I can be blunt. And I'm like, okay, well, you could be blunt to whoever you want. Don't do it to me. Now, a lot of people in the room, because of their perception of him, would just shrink under that. They would just, and he's older, and they would just shrink under that. And I'm like, well, you're allowing a disrespect. Okay, I'm not saying you gotta fight with him, but establish your ground. I'm not gonna let you talk to me that way. So I'm not going to shrink because you're in the room. I'm not going to step back because everybody perceives you a certain way. You follow what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you handle me a certain way and I be quiet. Well, I'm not confrontational. You don't have to be confrontational to make a statement. You don't have to be belligerent to say to somebody, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And it's a funny picture, but I remember this. Somebody was playing with Pastor Fontaine one time in a way that he don't like to be played with. He's a very reserved dude. And he said something, he corrected them, and it was kind of one of those things. And, they grabbed him around the neck, playfully, but like I want to choke you type thing. And he said, hey, I don't play like that. And that was it. So he said, hey, don't play with me like that. I don't play like that. And the person was like probably 3 times his height, hung their head and slithered away. And I said, and that's all it takes. He didn't yell, he didn't scream, he didn't cuss, he didn't shrink under him. He stood to him and said, listen, I don't play like that. It's okay for you to say, I don't play like that. I'm not going to sit back and shrink because you walked in the room. Another level, take it here too, it's important. I don't shrink because somebody come in the room that's wealthy or successful or more successful than me. If you want to call it that, I'm successful, I've been blessed. But I'm not going to look at somebody else and say, well, he got more than me, so therefore I'm lower than him. Now, I'm not going to try to compete and make myself, because that's an insecurity in itself, trying to compete with somebody. But just on your insides, right? Somebody say on my insides. On your insides, you should just know who you are. And you should know who you are, be comfortable with whoever. Because listen, they eat and poop and sleep and wake up, and just like you, is no different. I heard Bill Gates say this one time, and I thought it was powerful. He said, whether you have $1 billion or $100, a burger is still a burger. They're people just like you. They've had different opportunities, and they have different stages in their life. But don't shrink because they're there. Don't feel like now, I don't have. I have respect for successful people, but I don't idolize them because of their success. That's the word I'm looking for. Respect, yeah, but don't idolize. Don't shrink because people are around you and you feel like it may make them uncomfortable, or that you may feel like they're bigger than you, and so you have to shrink into a place. Don't do that. 2 more points. One more, we accept crumbs because we're afraid of being alone. We accept whatever people give us because we don't want to be by ourselves. This is how we participate in our own devaluation. We accept what other people give us, the bare minimum, because we don't want to feel like they will leave us or we will be alone. Well, it depends on what you call alone, right? Because people leaving you behind that don't treat you right or treat you beneath, here's the truth. They open the door for the people that come in that need to be in your life. There's a lot of people who can't receive what they're supposed to receive because they're surrounded themselves or keep people in their life that keep the good people out. Hear what I just said? There's people that I would love to be around and spend time with, but their conversation, their communications, and the things they insist on doing and do consistently, I can't be around it, even though I like you. I don't like the energy. I don't like what you accept around you, and as a result, I won't come around you. So I could possibly be a help to that person, but I won't be around them because they insist on accepting crumbs to keep people around them. They insist on keeping a lower form of energy in their circle or in their stratosphere because they don't want to be alone. But sometimes you have to go high alone. You have to go to the next level alone. And when you get to the next level, the people that should be there are already there, waiting for you to come to the level. A lot of us are not going to come down to where you are. We're going to sit here, and if you come up, we're going to welcome you. So don't accept the crumbs so that you can keep people's company that are not elevating or elevating to the level that you see yourself. This is very, very, very big. Who bears witness with what I'm talking about? Let me give myself a clap for that. That was good. That was real good. This is good stuff. Keep yourself from discounting our gifts, our times, our products, and our services, and our presence. Basically, you devalue yourself that by continuing to discount your value, your presence, your work. Pick on my queen a little bit, but my queen used to do hair for years and years and years. And the people came, boy, her chair was packed, but she was undercharging. She was undercharging so bad. And when I first met her, I said, when she asked me to be a partner, I said, your prices are too low. What? Your prices are too low. You got to bring your prices up. And I was like, well, what are you going to do? She said, I like that post that keep yourself from discounting, no more coupons. I like it. What are you going to do? And she went back and forth with it, and she finally got up the nerve to bring up the prices a little bit. I said, people may leave, but you have to do less work for the people who stay. She literally brought the prices up, and the customers congratulated her, literally congratulated her for bringing the price up. They literally was happy for her because they knew that she was undercharging. But hey, if you're going to devalue yourself, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the benefit of it. But they literally, customers said to her, I'm so happy for you, congratulations. So what does that say? People know that you're worth more than what you're settling for. But hey, if you're going to let me, there's this thing they used to say back in the day, if you find a fool, bump his head. I don't know if you ever heard that before. That's an old saying. The bottom line is people know your worth sometime when you don't, but they hope that you never find out so they can continue to undercharge you or underpay you. So they'll, keep holding, this carrot in front of your face, or this promise or this whatever, because they know you don't see your value yet. And so because you don't, I'll undervalue. So I'll give you another example. Lindsay, here's my partner. When we first started doing the staffing company, we went to one of the companies now who I won't say their name because they're still a customer now. But let's just say Big Bird and Ernie and we'll just say that, right? So anyway, we was working with this station, and she kept saying, well, let's charge this price. And the price was so much lower than what we should be paid. But she felt to get in the door, we should lower our price. So she wanted to charge them, what's going on, Josh? So she wanted to let them pay us for staffing, let's to get them in the door. I think it was some low thing. It was not much above 10%. Now, staffing, I knew from my experience was like 30% commission, 20% to 30% commission. And we gave them this low price. This is a major station now. We gave them this low price. We started filling all these positions. We even got them employees that were Emmy Award winning, right? And he says, well, if we do 5 more, if we hire any more, can we lower it more? And can we work out a deal? And what he kept doing was saying every time he gave us another job to fill, he wanted to bring the percentage down lower. And the lower that he kept talking, the less respect they kept showing. It's literally, they were just treating us like dog poo. It was like, and one day I said, enough. I'm taking the reins on this thing. And we got in a meeting with the CFO, and he said, oh, this is the new manager now, so she's the person. Now he's going to push us off. I'm not even going to talk to you anymore. This is our new person. She's the one who's going to handle you now, so you deal with us. And I read him. I read him so bad in front of his new employee that they stopped working with us for a while because I put him in his place. I said, no, I'm not going to keep devaluing myself for you and my company for you, and this is what we're going to pay now, and we'll charge now, and this is what you're going to pay, or we're not going to work. We didn't hear from her for a few months. She was concerned, but they came back, and they came back with the checkbook, and we still doing business with them now, and this is what almost a decade later, we're still doing business with them now, and they're paying us, and they're paying us the way we're supposed to be paid. So, Joshua, since you're in the room, let me tell you, I'm dealing with today the hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. The hard truths about how we participate in our own devaluation. So we up to the one more after this, but the one we just did is we keep discounting our gifts, our times, and our products and services and presents. We keep letting people convince us that, well, you're not big enough yet to charge that. Or you are not famous enough to charge that. Or I don't enough people know you enough yet to charge that. And I'm like, so you heard me in the room the other night. So there's nothing, I'm not saying nothing secret. Well, you guys can come and create a show. And then once you get big enough, we bring it. I'm like, get the hell out of here. You get paid. I'm not doing nothing for nobody for free like that. Because I'm on a place in my life where I'm like, I know what my value is. Are you kidding? I'd rather do it in my own room for free. I'm not going to do it in nobody else's room for free where you making money and get, no, you must be crazy. I would never do that. But that's the place I am, and that's the place I want you to be. Know your value. Know your worth. Don't let people come to you and try to convince you, I'm going to do you a favor and let you slave for me. And then maybe one day, if I like you enough, no. That's no, absolutely not. I'm bringing my price to you right now. I'm telling you what my worth is right now. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in the room. Good to see you. So we're dealing with the hard truth about how we participate in our own devaluation. We're at the last point. We're at the last point. Let's give a clap for the last point. We say yes when our spirit is screaming no. We say yes to stuff to people, to family, to friends. So you're going to come to such, and you want, well, I'm going to see, well, I'm going to try. No, I don't want to go. Can you help me? I'm going to be moving this week. No, no. And when you're good? When you can say no because I got to take the kids, and just no. I want you to try this. I want you to try this. I want you the next time somebody asks you to do something you don't want to do, say no and don't say anything after that. Watch how they look at you like you got three heads. Because they're waiting for it. They're waiting for you because they want you to justify your existence to them. So they're going to say, nah, I'm not going to be able to do that. And they'll literally just look at you like, huh? You're not going to explain why? You asked me, I said no. Do I have to tell you why? Liz said, no, it's a complete sentence. It is. No, and I've done that to people just to see their response. So I want to know if you have the time, and they build it all up and they walk you down the whole road of it and all the reasons why it would be so beneficial to them and blah, 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 blah. And then, so what do you think now? I'm not interested. It's not my thing. So you don't want? No, I know. No, I'm not. I'm looking at the comments. No. Right, and just Stop saying yes to things that your spirit, your inside, your body, your mind, your whole being, you say yes and you feel like crap because you said yes. Now you got to try to find a way out. So now you got to come up with a lie to turn the yes into a no. Just stop saying yes to things that don't feel right to you. What we covering tonight, things, the hard truth about things we participate. The things we do to participate in our own devaluation. So I'm not going to go over them again. I'm just going to read the words. Sometimes we blame other people for devaluing us, but we participate in it how? 1, we over-explain. 2, we overgive. 3, we tolerate disrespect. 4, we shrink ourselves to make others comfortable. 5, we accept crumbs because we're afraid of being alone. 6, we keep discounting our gifts, time, products, services, and presence. And last but not least, we say yes when our spirit is screaming no. Every time you abandon yourself to keep someone else, you teach yourself that you need your needs and you don't need, and your needs do not matter. Every time you abandon yourself to keep someone else or something else, you teach yourself, you're training yourself. You hear what I'm saying? You're training yourself that your needs don't matter. You are teaching your mind, you're teaching your conscience, you're teaching your spirit, you're teaching your levels that your needs don't matter. So even when you by yourself trying to believe for your next level, there's something inside of you saying, you don't deserve that. You ain't worthy of that. You ain't done enough to have that. That ain't gonna happen for you. I mean, it could happen for other people. And you can look around the world and see it happening for everybody else. But there's something inside of you. Somebody called it your knower, your believer, doesn't believe it's for you. So you keep reaching for it, but it always seems to be right out of your hands reach. That's not life. That's not situations. That's you don't have the ability yet to believe. So I'll give you an example. Speaking to my boy, Sean, with the $5-6 million mansion that we got married in, actually. And he asked Nelly, so you really believe that you're supposed to be wealthy, you're supposed to be successful? And she said, well, yeah, I do. He said, oh, can I ask you another question? Yeah. Are you melanated? She looked at me like, what? I said, he's asking you, are you black? She said, yeah. He said, when you can answer, I'm supposed to be wealthy, as easy as you just answer, I'm black, you will be all right. He said, right now, you don't really, he said, yeah. But when he asked you, are you black? He went, yeah, duh, stupid question, yeah. Well, when you answer to your success, I see Nelly, you off screen, I don't know where you are, but when you can answer to the place you're supposed to be, and I don't mean the Mark Cuban level yet, but the level you say you're believing for. If you can answer it that serious, yes, then you know it's real. Up until then, you don't really believe it yet. And that is not something to be ashamed of, but it is something to work on. It is something to take care of. Okay? I land my plane. Room is open. Floor is open. Put your hand up. We'll bring you up. Questions? Jonah, I hear you, Jonah. Say, I need to work on this too. This is what we're here for. Like I said, this is the real room. This is the room for, and I'm not saying other people's room. I'm saying this. We don't come here to show off. We come here to get what we need to go to the next level. That's what this is all about. That's what we're about in this room. So absolutely, we all need some of this. Omar's in the room. Let him in. Open the door and let him in. What's going on?
What's up? Good evening to you. Good now to everyone. This was a beautiful conversation, and those points were so on point. Like devaluing our worth. I think more than raising our value, it's the devaluing that is happening in life that needs to stop, right? It's like we don't even realize when it's happening. It's trained since childhood, I guess. Just learning from each other. I was reflecting on my where this was showing up in my life, and I was able to see it from childhood. Like as a child, when especially as a early teenager in school, where I used to see a bunch of other folks who used to value, like have this high self confidence, and I was in the zone where I used to. Now it's changed a lot since then. It's been quite a while since then. Yet nobody at that point was like I never got the guidance to how do I also have that high self value when I show up. Whereas when I would see the other folks around me, it would be like, look at this guy, look at this person, they're so confident. Like, and then just by in comparison, I wouldn't of course think it. It would be subconsciously, there'd be the feeling that maybe I'm not as good as them. Now, whatever that good is, just either athletics, looks, so many factors that just maybe intelligence also, to some, although at that time intelligence is less of a thing, more it's looks and it's more like athleticism and, at that age of life. And then as you grow, it's
Yeah,
more
I
about
understand.
your, so yeah, this is so relatable. And then I was thinking, how does this show up today in my life?
That's a real
And
question. That's a real
yeah.
question.
Yeah. And then I got to see, like, whenever it's time to level up, I have an opportunity to raise the bar a lot more than what I normally raise it to. Like in any stage of my journey, I keep the expectations of where I'm leveling up reasonable. The word reasonable can sometimes be dangerous as well, because if I'm being reasonable
Yeah,
about
I was waiting for you to finish, but yeah. What is reasonable?
exactly that the, in the what the mind cooks up as what is the worth in that moment, and that's exactly what this conversation shows me, that why am I limiting my worth just because what experience I'm getting in front of me, or just because what my mind cooks up. No, let me raise the bar of what I expect to be delivering, and what results I expect
Like,
people to show up with. So yeah, not just in one sphere of life. I feel in any sphere of life, just challenging my sometimes even physical limitations. Like, okay, I'm saying, okay, I can push this much. Right now I'm jogging. Okay, I can go at this speed. Well, is that me limiting my value of how much this body is capable of delivering? Well, that's an example right there. When it comes to following a certain daily routine in life that leads to growth and progress, am I challenging myself enough, or am I just being like okay with the current results that are going on? No, it's not done if it's not done. And if it's done, and if I achieve it, then let's raise the bar even more. Why stop there? So that's something that's just my mind is really reflecting on. And I know as this conversation goes on, there'll be more and more ideas that'll be coming up, which aspects of life. So I'm loving this, brother.
all right. Okay, so we're landed now. I landed your plane for you. All right, so now listen. What you said is powerful, but you know what you said is really powerful? You acknowledged that there's a process. So I'm gonna throw a question at you. Can you be trained, or can you train yourself away from that old way of thinking? Can you do something now to say, going forward, I won't participate in my own devaluation? Can you take the points that we gave you and we talked about and say, okay, so what's the one that's the most pressing and the most prevalent, and what processes can I start taking to remove that thing from having that power? You understand what I'm saying? I don't point this stuff out to you to show you where you lack. I point this stuff up to you to show you what you can now do to start the process of going the other way. All these things are mind conditions. So if you were trained to do it, you can be trained to not do it. Does that make sense? Let Brother Joshua up.
Yeah, it's definitely a great conversation because we look out for others so much and we forget about ourselves. And no matter how egocentric it can sound, we need to put ourselves first in order to serve others. Like what we say every time. I was talking in another Zoom call earlier today, and we were talking about the put your mask on before helping others, and
You mean
we
like on
were
a
joking.
plane, right?
We were joking around that nobody pretty much listens to the safety instructions on a plane, but the only thing we get out of the safety regulations, the safety video, is the oxygen mask, because that applies to life. Like, you can't help others if you're running out of oxygen.
Facts.
So, and another thing that we were talking about is how alone we can feel if we focus on our own bubble. And by own bubble, we mean only
I'm sorry.
focusing on the people we currently know and not really expanding our horizons to other people, other cultures. Like if we grew up in the same community, seeing the exact same people, and we don't really um like we how do I say it? Like, we only focus on if we're talking about our problems to the people we already know and we're getting the same response, then we might feel alone. But if we expand ourselves and decide to open ourselves to people that we didn't know could be a part of our lives, some might be accountability groups, someone might be a future close friend, you never know. But once you expand, then you're really not alone, because the more you expand, the more you open yourself to other experiences, the more people you meet, and the more experiences.
I love it.
So there's always someone you're gonna relate to.
I love it. Now, it was powerful about what you're saying. Let me give you a clap. What's powerful about what you're saying is this. So I'm going to say this, and I'm not picking on anybody, male or female. I've seen it happen a million times. But usually, I'm sorry, it's with females. They're with some dude that they don't like, they don't really love, they don't really think he's the right one. And then they're praying for God to bless them with the right one when the space is already filled with the bum. So now you got the bum that's in the place, but you want God to bring you his best. So he has to now stand and watch you deal with this jerk. And it's like, he's going to move on. Why? Because that space is already given to somebody else. So even in greatness, in every level of greatness, my point is, you're going to keep poverty or weakness or brokenness in a place where greatness belongs. And then you're going to be upset that you're not getting what you want. Let me take it off of relationships. You got a job you don't like, you can't stand the job, but you can't find another job because you won't let that job go. So I've watched people again and again. I said to somebody that I was managing, if you take this job, I'm not going to be a manager anymore, because this job is a horrible job and they weren't paying, and it was going below what we had built up to. And now they were offering this job that was beneath what we had built to. I said, well, if you're going to go backwards, then you're going to go alone. I'm not going to manage you anymore. I'm not going to be a part of your life because you'll get ready to block an opportunity. And right after that, a major opportunity came up and a major job. And so if they had taken that job, the other job wouldn't have been available. So to put a cap on what you're saying, Josh, you can't get to the next level holding on to the level that you have. You can't introduce yourself to the people you need to be with hanging on to the people that you're already around.
Yeah.
You have to open the door and step outside of the door to give yourself opportunity to find out what could be. You can't find out what could be holding on to what is. Simply put. Thank you for sharing that, bro. I appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Oh, yeah. What's going on? Welcome to the room. Welcome to the chat. Let her in. Open the door. Let her in. Talk to me.
So today, is the sound is good? Is it okay?
Yeah, you sound good. Sound perfect. Let's go.
Thank you. So
What are we
today,
looking at right now? Is that an alligator?
no, those are shells. I'm a
Oh, okay.
shell. I'm a
Okay.
shell girl.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue. I'm like a little alligator down there on the
Thank
floor.
you. Yeah. Yeah. So today I got a call from this lady. I posted an ad in a Facebook groups, like Russian Facebook groups in Florida and Miami. Um, because the landlord where I'm renting my apartment, he had this space for commercial rent, and it's a prime location, Collins Avenue, and the rent is not that high. So I thought, why can't I just make money? Just say, hey, my landlord has this space, and everybody, if anybody needs it, I just gonna give his phone number to you, and make some, couple bucks out of it. So this lady called and the landlord rented it already. So she called me and I said, I'm sorry, it's rented already. And she started asking me so many questions like, oh, what do you think is this? Where you think we should do? Where we should go? Where we should rent? And I just say, I'm sorry, I gotta go. This is probably the first time in my life when I did not invest my time into people as much as cruel it sounds, but I feel okay with what I did. I said, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I gotta go. So I just stopped babysitting people, because what I witnessed for the past 2 years in my life is what I was like running around, helping everybody, supporting everybody, and it would be cool if I would see any balance in it. Let's say I just erased yesterday, I erased all conversations from my WhatsApp and Telegram with the people who just taken, so let's say I supported one person. It was like, you know that person would tell me this, I had this problem and that problem, and they don't even want to open WhatsApp because I always have to support that person, and I have three people like that in the WhatsApp and the Telegram. So, I support them. I support, she's like, oh, like, here's my Instagram. Please like, follow. I do that. She never even asked, like, what's my Instagram? If what am I doing? Like, what my business? It's only about them. But in fact,
Hmm.
it's about me. It's about me disrespecting myself. So I erased those chats, and from now on, and there was a test, like like God tested me today. I got this call, and this lady, she had so many questions, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm busy, and I'm sure they adults, they could figure it out, and yeah, pretty much. So what I thought, but my main thought is when when I found myself in a situations where I just give, and I do not watch for the balance,
Yeah.
give and take, that is a bad for for my money. That is disrespect towards myself and towards my money, because time and
Powerful.
energy is money. I cannot make money while I'm just running around helping everybody, and this everybody who I happen to pick myself.
Let
That
me ask
matters
you a
to me.
question. Let me ask you a question though.
Hmm. Yep.
What you're saying is true, right? You're making some very powerful points. But let's do what we do here, because this is where we get helped.
Hmm.
Why were you running around trying to help everybody? And before you answer the question, I want to say Cecilia's in here, and hi to her. Give her a shout out, some love. Welcome to the room. Alicia, welcome to you. Sherry, I see you in the room. Welcome to you too. I like to make sure I acknowledge everybody as they come up in the room. But yeah, I want you to answer that question for me if you can. Why? Why did you feel the need to keep helping and doing what you did? And I mean, I was guilty of the same thing. So I'm definitely not saying that in any kind of criticism or judgment, but I want us to kind of consider, and for those who just coming in the room, what we talked about today was the hard truth, how we participate in our own devaluation, and how we talked about how we participate in our own devaluation is one of the points that we over-explain, we overgive, we tolerate disrespect, we shrink to make others feel comfortable, we accept crumbs because we're afraid of being alone, we keep discounting our gifts, our times, our products, our services, and our presence. We say yes when our spirit is screaming no. Every time you abandon yourself to someone else, you teach yourself and you train yourself that your needs don't matter. So I just want to make sure so everybody's up to date. This is what we're talking about. I love how our conversations stay on focus and stay on point. But that's what I want to ask. Why? Do you know why you
Right. Hmm.
did that?
I have several answer. You know,
Okay.
several.
And be succinct. Don't go on forever, but
There
make
was
those points.
that's a great work right now inside of me, starting right now after you asked that question, and thank you. Like, I paused for a second, and while I had a minute to think about it, here's what my answers. First is a search for connection. Okay,
Mm,
search for genuine connection,
mm,
which I had with my female friend, which I lost a long time ago. Probably I was searching for that connection. Not only for that reason, also because it's just like I feel I'm big in a sense of like I have a lot to give, because I invested a lot money and time and effort in my self development. So I feel like kind of my mission to, because I have a lot, so I have to give, And third answer would be that hurts. Okay, the third one would be avoiding to be helping myself, avoiding growing myself,
mm.
my business, myself. So I hide in, because that makes me feel powerful, smart, when I just like go and help, and then I see results when I help this person, I support that person, and that person feels good. I mean, Ola, go into your own life,
Hold on, 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 hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. This you let me give you laying some powerful truth, honesty down here. Thank you for your vulnerability, first of all. The last thing you said was I was avoiding doing my own thing by helping everybody else when it made me feel good to feel like I was helping somebody else, but in the meantime, I was avoiding taking care of myself and handling my own bit. So basically, I'm procrastinating doing what's best for me, and I can justify it by saying because I'm helping other people or somebody else.
Yep.
Whew, that's bars right there. Somebody give us some love for that. That's some real stuff. That's Charlotte said me too. That's some real stuff. Thank you for your honesty on that. Oh my God. That right there. Right there.
Yep.
And this is why I ask these kind of questions to get these kind of answers. I feel good running around. Listen, and keep this in mind. And I want you to understand your thinking. You never a failure if you never do it, right? That's the mindset, right? So if I'm helping everybody else do their thing and I'm not doing mine, did I really fail? Yeah, you did. To yourself, you did. Because you just avoided doing the thing that you knew you were supposed to do. I've been guilty of that in my life. My goodness. Always trying to push everybody else to the top and hide in the back. And it made me feel like I was being a good guy, but what I was really doing was avoiding chasing my own destiny. That is powerful, man. And this is why I love what we created in this room. If you love what we created in this room, give us a clap. Give us a clap. Let's have a clap emoji. If you appreciate what you're getting here, let's see what you got. Because this is why we're here. This is why we're here. This is where you get to have the real conversations.
That hurts.
It hurts, but you know what? It won't hurt anymore because you put it out. You know, there's a saying, you probably not heard it, but in the Black community, they say, tell the truth and make the devil shame, right? You put it out, and now that it's out, you're free. Once the dark is exposed to the light, it's no longer dark, the Bible says. You put it out. So yeah, it hurt, but you put it out there, and you face something that now, whenever you see yourself going that road, you'll go, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. I know what that is. That's running, and I'm not going to run. And that's, oh my God. I'm telling you right now, if I could stick a pin in the one thing that was said tonight so far, it was that right there. I do help everybody else to avoid working on my own stuff, facing my own fear, dealing with my own perspective. That is a way that we duck. And that right there was worth the course of a mission right there. Even though you ain't paid to come in here, but.
Just performed a surgery on my, on something on my, how do you say,
Well,
sore
good.
spot, blind spot, what I didn't see. Thank you.
You're welcome, sister. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Liz, what's going on? Come on up in here and share what you're going to share. And again, be concise. Watch your timing. But come on in and get it in.
Hey there, big bro.
What's
I love this conversation because I am literally going through the stopping of devaluing myself, the allowing myself to walk through doors that opportunity has opened for me. I just started a new job yesterday in a practice field that I have very little experience in, but it's something that I wanted to try to do. And every time I had the opportunity in the past, I shied away from it because it was not my expertise. So I was insecure about what I didn't know instead of being excited to learn something new. Now that I have gained some wisdom and gotten a little bit older, I'm excited anytime I could learn something new. So when this opportunity came along, I ran for it. Instead of what I normally do, I wouldn't have even applied because it's a very large, prestigious law firm, and I would have said I'm not ready for that yet.
So what did you learn about yourself in this one experience? What's the lesson that you took from it? And that's something that you can share that would be helpful to everybody in the room. What's the lesson you took from this experience and this going forward and taking that stand that you wouldn't take before? What's the awakening for you now?
Don't let your fears and insecurities about how you perceive yourself stop you from growing into an opportunity that has been opened for you.
Mm.
If God is opening a door for you, walk through it.
I would tell you to change one thing in your conversation, and that's you and everybody in this room. Condition yourself to stop saying my fears and my worry and stop putting my on it. Don't own that stuff. Say fears and
Fears
worries and
and
concerns. Don't say my. Once
okay.
you do
Don't
that,
own it.
that's an attachment. I refuse
Okay.
to attach. If I catch myself doing that, I shut that down. I say, I'll pull that out the air right now. I do not accept that. It's not my fear. It's not my worry. It's not mine. It's the enemy's, and he puts it there, and it's, when it becomes mine, down I got to work to get it out. It's not
hmm
yours.
It's not mine.
Just return to sender.
Um, in my past,
Mhm.
I would worry and I would not, I would procrastinate, or I would not allow myself to have the confidence
Mm.
to sell myself.
Pause.
Huh?
I said pause. No,
Well,
you said the confidence to sell myself. I said pause.
market myself is what I mean.
There you go.
That's a better word. Um, being in rooms like this and being your sister, I have been taught to take the chance on me that um that I have spent almost 35 years in this profession. So that speaks volume, and I need to walk in that confidently because I've been doing this for quite some time now.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. See, this is powerful, and this is what's cool about this. When somebody asked me, the first time I went live on here, somebody said to me, if you got the opportunity to be on stage with Tony Robbins, I forgot who asked me that question. I think it may have been Olia. Like, what would your point be, or what would you talk about? And I said, exactly what I'm doing right now. Exactly what I'm doing right now. No different. Same kind of conversation I'm having with you guys right now. And that's what I would be doing. That's who I am. There's nothing else for me to do. That's who I am. And I'm grateful for the School of Mentors, because what it did for me is it gave me the understanding of what my talking point. I didn't come in the room to learn how to do that. I was business coaching. I was teaching people how to incorporate. I was teaching people how to set up your business, how to do your tax structure, trust, how to set up trust. That, if you look back at some of the older vision builders, that's what I was dealing with. I was helping people figure out how to structure things and how to do your business, because that's a strength of mine. But when I came into the school and I saw how many people were like bumping around, I went, whoa, and I just started helping. It just was natural for me, and it helped me come to the reality. This is what you do. This is your message. This is your gift. Sometimes you fall into it. You just don't know it, and you fall into it. Yes, Queen, I see your hand is up. Come on and talk to me. Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you? Something like that.
So, the part that stuck out to me, like, is me having to overcome being a people pleaser, because that's something that I grew up, in my family. It was like, if you don't obey, you're being like disobedient. So to stay in line and not be told that I was being disobedient or doing my own thing, because it was just this theme of togetherness, and we have to stick together. So we need to be one mind. So if I just like had a different thought process, it was never accepted. So I really had to break away from that. And I didn't break away from that until I met you and I started learning, more about, I have an opinion and it matters. Like I need to do what God is telling me to do. And then the second thing was I had to separate from them to gain that freedom. The perspective had to like grow on the inside of me and become rooted, and that happened with in separation. And so I had to just get rid of those voices, and it was too many voices, me trying to please too many different people in my family. And I, in solitude by myself, I could just hear God. His voice became clearer to me, and then just walk and do what he's telling me to do in line with my purpose, what he's calling me to do and not what everybody else wants me to do. And I have been doing that for so long. So it happened during COVID time. And after that time, that's when I gained my strength and I could say no. For the first time, I could say no and not feel bad about saying no. And it felt great. It felt liberating. I stood up to family members. They would try to pull me and haul me and tell me, go do this. And back in the day, I would just do it because I want to be the obedient. But I started saying no, and they were like, wow, Nellie's changed. And I'm like, yes, I have. And it feels great. And I was finally living for me. So that's what I wanted to add.
And I'm gonna tell you what's
Thank you.
powerful about that. I'm gonna give you the clap. I'll tell you what's powerful about that. Everybody will try to shame you and tell you you're selfish when you start to step up for yourself. I heard Josh was kind of said this already, and he said it a different way, but I'll say what he said. You have to be self-full before you can help somebody else. So it's not selfish to be self-full. But I always look at it a different way too. When a person keeps telling you you're selfish, just say to them, it takes a selfish person to tell somebody they're selfish. Because you're saying I'm selfish because I won't do what you want me to do. So it takes a selfish person to keep telling somebody they're selfish. And I just want you to take that and put that in your notes right there, right? Don't let people try to guilt you or shame you into what they want you to do by throwing the selfish word at you. That's some crap. We're winding down. It looks like we're coming to the end. So I'm trying not to go 2.5 hours this time. We came on, what time we came on? 9. So it's 10:30 almost. So anybody else want to come in, want to make a comment, ask a question, do it now. But in the process, just remember, don't forget to hit, follow us on YouTube so you can see the replays. Hit that button, that like, share, subscribe, tell somebody about us. And it's important that you definitely let people know who we are. This is how we're growing. This is how we're building. So please follow us on the YouTube and watch it. If you don't watch it, make sure you share it. I'm not getting paid for this, so this is how I get paid. I'm getting paid with likes and subscribes and follows on YouTube and shares. And those of you who've been sharing me in the community, I appreciate you. Olia, you've been like a blessing. Charlotte, thank you guys. Jonah, all you guys for being a help and helping us, build this community, because it's a growing community and it's growing kind of quick, and we're grateful. And we're grateful to everybody. So yes. And Lindsay, I saw you had your hand up before you put it down, but Esther got her hand up, so let's let Esther in and let's welcome her.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. I guess I just want to share, you had asked, why do we devalue ourselves? And I think for me personally is because I want to be liked, liked by everyone. I don't want to disappoint anyone. I remember even like buying gifts for people, and I like to give, but I think that at some point it might have gotten to the point where it's just like, okay, I want to make sure that they still like me, Um, and a lot of those points hit hard, especially the don't shrink to make other people, like me shrinking to make other people comfortable. uh i would I would allow myself to get uncomfortable, or to be uncomfortable, if it meant not if it meant not having somebody else being uncomfortable. If that makes sense.
Yes.
um I would keep my mouth shut, even if I know like somebody did something wrong towards me. I would keep my mouth shut because I didn't want them to feel bad, even though what they did was bad. So yeah, a lot of these points resonated with me, and even what Odia said about just being busy, 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 helping people, and and neglecting what we actually have to do in
Yeah.
ourselves. So yeah, this was very insightful session tonight. Definitely giving me a lot of things to reflect and sit and ponder on and pray about. Um, like, one, why do I feel like I need to be liked so much? And two, why am I procrastinating at doing the things that I need to be doing, and finding reasons not to do it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Lindsay, are you coming back up? You had your hand up for a minute, then you put it down.
Hey, good evening. I'm here.
Hey.
Hello, 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 VB fam. Um, yeah, tonight was great. I wasn't able to be still, so I didn't want to have my camera on all over the place. But Miss Olia hit it on the head. That resonated with me. Everyone's feedback has resonated. Let me just say I could identify with what Miss Olia was saying about the procrastination and the getting busy or doing things for others or getting caught in rabbit holes. We've been talking about rabbit holes a lot as a distraction from facing the fear, not our fear. Thank you, Mr. Brown, but facing the fear of the hard thing, the scary thing, like having to actually face it and do something. And I will say for me, I found myself in that trap for years. Only really until recently have I really been forced to look at what have you actually done? Like what's actually been done, Boo Bear, both for me helping others and then for what God has called me to do. And to me, it's been both sides because there are things I'm gonna just shout it out, tell myself. I filed taxes today. I had a couple of years that I thought I filed and I got confused because I didn't understand, and finances is just, it has yet to be like a super strength for me. I'm working on it, but I filed taxes. I was so scared because I was late, and the fear caused me to be even later. So I had to sit down, put on some music, and file those taxes and just get it done. And there wasn't like this, ooh-ha, I didn't celebrate. It was just like, oh, it's done. The thing I've been procrastinating. I sat and looked at my expenses and pulled all my bank statements together. Oh my gosh, right? But I did it. So I resonate with everyone, and I identify with that procrastination, or getting involved in other things, because to me, I can jump into a tech project. I can have a meeting. I can research some stuff. That's easy for me. But a lot of times the things I'm procrastinating on are the things I either feel less than, intimidated, or incapable of doing. And oftentimes those are the things connected to my calling. So I'm just now at 45 learning really how to attack and address those things. So what I do is substantive, not just a bunch of work.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a. That's awesome. That's good stuff. You can see you getting love on the screen. People love that, man. There's people. These cycles can be broken. Is the point of the conversation. I'm gonna let Liz come back up for a minute. We're gonna try to wrap up, so try to be brief, Liz and Paul. But come on up and share what you got to share. Let's let Liz in. And yeah, the cycles can be broken, is the point. They can be broken. If you learn to do them, you can learn to undo them. And I say all the time, learning is easy. Unlearning is the hurdle. What do I mean by that? Mean, a lot of times we try to take what we need to do and make it fit in what we're already doing. And that's usually not the way it works. You usually have to forsake totally what you're doing and do something new. And most people try to fix things by saying, well, let me take this new thing, as the Bible says, take the new wine, put it in old wineskins. You can't, it takes a transition a lot of the time. It's not I had a moment and now I see it, but now I go back to what I was. No, it's usually a full, total transition. And so not trying to take the new and put it in with the old, but abandoning the old and walking in the new. And a lot of times that's a hard thing for people if they don't make the decision that this is where I'm going and this is what I'm doing. So take that with you. That's free game. Just have that. Come on, Liz, talk to me. Yes, absolutely. Oh, you learn how to do it, you can learn how to undo it. You can learn how to not do it. And what I tell people to focus on is not learning how not to do it, but focus on doing the new thing. And if you focus on doing the new thing, the old thing will disappear. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to learn how to undo something that we never walk away from the old. Leave it. Don't focus on it. Focus on where you're going and what you're doing, and the old will fade in the past. It'll disappear. Don't break your heart and your neck trying to be, trying to do something, trying not to do something. Focus on what you're doing. What's going on, Liz?
I just wanted to add, when it comes to valuing yourself, and both Lindsay and Esther said something pertaining to procrastination, and I know for me, especially of late, I had to completely change how I was doing things in order for me to walk through this season that God has me in right now. And I had to admit that taking those steps weren't comfortable. I had to come outside of my comfort zone in order to walk into where I needed to walk into. Sometimes we get stuck in our comfortability and we don't want to get outside of what's comfortable for us in order to grow.
I'm going to submit something to the room, and that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to submit something to the room right now, and this is powerful. This is a real powerful thing. I want you to think about what we call our comfort zone, and then ask yourself, are we really comfortable? I don't know why we call it a comfort zone, because we usually don't like it. We're usually miserable there. We usually don't want to have anything to do with it. I'll call it the familiar zone more than I would call it a comfort zone, because we're usually not comfortable there. That's why we squirming and want to get out. So I think a lot of times we'll call it the familiar zone, right? You're not comfortable and you know you don't belong there. So that's all I want to say about that. What's going on, PB?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I wrote in the chat, I wanted to thank Ms. Lindsay for what she said, because I was stressing about that before this thing even started myself, with the back taxes and all of that. And then it's like the paralysis, the procrastination adds to the paralysis. Then next thing you know, you become paranoid. So triple V. Um, yeah, I just wanted to say I wanted to thank everybody for everything that they said tonight. I know my big thing has always been looking at what is my value and just trying to justify that, especially in my line of work where we're a very specialized group. Yeah. And so when that's taken away, now it's like, what is it? And so I had to ask the question, how much of my identity was tied to that? And I think you had talked about that a little bit, I think maybe a week or so ago. So, yeah, so that's where I just been battling and going back and forth with that. Just looking at what's the value, what is that worth to myself and worth on the open market and worth with what God has given me to do. So, yeah, so that was all.
That was good, though. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for sharing that. Listen, if you receive some value tonight, show some love on the screen, show some love in the chats. Just let me know that you've been blessed, you've been fed, you got something that you can work with, something you can do something with. It's big. It's a big time. It's a big season, and we're going places. And so I'm proud of everybody that shared. I'm proud of everybody. A couple of people popped in and popped out. I know different time zones is crazy for people. We try to come on a time where people in different places can get in and still get what they need. But this is where we are. This is what we're doing. We're gonna keep growing and keep becoming better, because once that internal person is dealt with, the person on the outside just starts to line up. It just works that way. It works that way. I don't want to walk around continuing trying to pretend to be something. I just want to be that I am, and then let the power grow out of that. And so I'm starting to meet myself for the first time. I'm starting to become friends with myself for the first time. I'm starting to honestly love myself and accept myself for the first time. And that's a lot of years to be living, to be able to say that now is the first time I've been able to do that. So, okay, I see you got your hand up, Omar. We're going to do the last one. We're going to do the one more, and then we're going to call it a night. We're going to wrap it up. Come on in, let Omar in, let him in the room.
I was just reflecting on how in my life, at least I can relate to, I give, it's so important to watch even the closest people around me, right? Where they are used to seeing me a certain way and not tolerating that way of them or anybody seeing me, because they are the ones I get to spend most time with. That's why they are the closest ones. And so being mindful of the way they, of course, myself as well, the way I look at myself as well, that's the first thing. And then the people who are closest to me, because if they may see me from the past, from the past experiences that where I may have not succeeded at something, or, just one example and then relate it with another. I wouldn't tolerate that now, right? Because if I want to keep my self-worth at the level of the vision that I want to build, I feel that's applicable for us all here. That we hold the people who are closest to us accountable, to the sense that they don't look at us anymore as that version, that older version. And if they do, then check them in a nice, kind way, and just say, no, that's not true. And especially to ourselves, if my own mind and habits are reflecting that.
That's deep. Well, listen, this is what growth is all about, isn't it? It's about us coming to terms with the way we've seen ourselves and the way we see others. Guys, this has been a great night. Give yourselves a hand for what you've done here. This has been a great night, and I want to tell you that I'm really excited to be here and get to spend this time with you guys. I'm helping you, but I'm also growing myself. And again, as I said, definitely the replays are on YouTube. My queen just put it in the chat, so that you can go there. Please follow, hit subscribe, so you know when we're on. It'll alert you. Share, tell somebody, bring somebody. Thank you for those of you who came in the room, even though you didn't speak, just that you were here. Appreciate you being in the room. So I think Celeste, it was your first time in the room, but thank you for being here. I see some other names in here that I don't know if I've seen you before, but either way, I want to let you know we love and appreciate you and glad to have you in the room. And this is just the beginning. Our whole life is ahead of us. We got great things we gonna do and we can continue to do. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna fix that junk on the inside so that it doesn't come up and pollute the outside. And we're gonna become everything we're supposed to be. And that is exciting. And I'm gonna do great things. And I know you're gonna do great things. You're ready? Let's grow. Good night, fam. Love and blessings.
Don't give up now. Don't give up. No, don't give up now. Don't give up now. Don't give up right now. Hold on. You will not lose. You can fly if you just decide. Never let nobody get the best of you. Try to tell you what you can and cannot do. Your momentum will set you out the two. If you really just believe, I tell you, you can fly. If you make up your mind, don't give up. 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 Don't give up now. You have way too much to lose. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up right now.